to set an example for all of you. The first thing I did is to set my phone on silent. Please do that and make sure that your phones are on silent for the duration of the program. Good morning, distinguished guests, speakers, participants. It's so wonderful to see all of you here at this beautiful venue of Feshane, surrounded by amazing art. So many familiar faces in the crowd. I'm just purely excited to be presiding over the meeting today and hoping to have a chance to say hello to each and all of you during the coffee break. I'm Afşin Yurdakul. I'll be with you today on this stage just to facilitate. We're going to have a very packed program to address some of the most pressing challenges that our country and the world faces today, and I'll tell you more about our lineup very soon. So together, we're going to mark the 15th anniversary of the Global Relations Forum. Happy birthday to GRF before we begin, to everyone who worked so tirelessly since day one to make it a vital platform for nuanced, thoughtful, intellectual exchange. We are very thankful, so heartfelt thanks once again to the GRF team. Big applause. And continuing that tradition today, we'll embark on a discussion about pressing global issues that shape our world at this critical moment. That's why our conference is titled Navigating an Uncertain Common Global Future. We're now in a post-pandemic world, yet the challenge of economic recovery remains a vital question with high inflation rates, economic protectionism, and disrupted supply chains. The wars in Gaza, Lebanon, and Ukraine, they all continue to be in the headlines and continue to threaten regional and international security and stability. And 2024, this year, which in a couple of months we'll be wrapping up, was a big election year, and according to the UNDP, it was the biggest election year in human history because nearly half the globe went to the polls to decide on what kind of political future they want for their societies. And perhaps the most consequential one is going to take place in a couple of weeks, in 3 weeks, in the United States, and we're going to see what that means for American and world democracies. And meanwhile, the AI revolution is unfolding fast, right in front of our eyes, and it is sure to transform our lives from A to Z. And all of these subjects will be discussed in various panels by some of the brightest minds who are thinking hard about how our societies, how our world is shaping up at this critical time. At the conference, we hope to delve into these questions together, into these complex developments together. We may not have immediate answers. However, we hope you take this as an invitation to at least form the key questions together and think together about how we could unlock a hopeful and peaceful future for our societies. And I have to say, just looking around, it's so rare to see so many bright, sharp minds together in one room here this morning. So we're counting on all of your insights and experience, and we hope to together make this conference a big success to say happy birthday to GRF and its 15th anniversary. Soon I'll invite our distinguished speakers to the stage, and our program will continue with thought-provoking panel discussions in the afternoon. But before we proceed, I also have another quick housekeeping note. I already told you about the cell phones. Silent, please. We want them on silent the whole day. And if you need to use the Wi-Fi, it's the İBB one, IBB, İBB, Büyükşehir Belediyesi, so you can use that one. Before we move on to our first speaker, we have a video to share with you. We'll bring a video to just look back and see what GRF has achieved in the past 15 years, and then I have more announcements for you. Thanks once again for all the hard work in the past 15 years, and hopefully we'll celebrate GRF for many years to come. All right, now, without further ado, I would like to now invite our speakers one by one. It's my great pleasure to invite Ambassador Selim Yenel, President of the Global Relations Forum, to the stage for his opening remarks.
Good morning, dear Prime Minister, dear ministers, dear members of GRF, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to welcome you to the Global Relations Forum's 15th anniversary. But before I go into my own few words, I'd like to give you a message from our founding chairman and benefactor, Mr. Rahmi Koç. And I quote, "Distinguished guests and esteemed members, I welcome you all to Istanbul. I would like to express my regret that, due to the virus I caught, I am not able to attend the discussions today. You may be interested to know how we came about to set the Global Relations Forum. I hate to drop names, but the late David Rockefeller, although my senior, was a good friend, a mentor, and a good friend of Turkey. He asked me to serve on the International Advisory Board of the Council on Foreign Relations, which he was instrumental in founding. After my term on the board ended, he called me and suggested that I establish a similar organization in Turkey. He said that such an institution would be beneficial for Turkey, for the US-Turkish relations. When I got home, I consulted a number of friends, and they all agreed that this was an interesting move and said that they would like to become founding members. Since GRF would be an organization working on foreign affairs, we felt that it was important to get the blessing of the government. And I went to Ankara with a small delegation of former diplomats and academics to visit the foreign minister and got his approval. A decade and a half later, here we are, celebrating with the Global Relations Summit. I sincerely hope that your discussions will be productive and interesting, and once again, please accept my regrets." End quote. Indeed, 15 years ago, 40 visionaries embarked upon a journey to create an institution that would try to address the challenges the world is facing. The idea was to imprint a Turkish vision on how to look at the issues, provide solutions, and share them with decision makers. Throughout the years, the GRF has initiated a multitude of meetings, invited leaders and experts from around the world, generated findings, wrote reports, and offered ideas to those willing to listen. Like many others, we went through the COVID period, in which we learned how to continue functioning with the help of technology, such as Zoom and others. We have created programs for our youth, and as of today, we have more than 300 alumni that are representing us around the world through their professions. As our chairperson, Mrs. Zeynep Bodur Okyay, will give you more detail, I simply want to thank the Istanbul municipality for generously providing us this amazing venue. For those who don't know, this Feshane was a factory during the Ottoman times to produce fes. So that's why it's called Feshane. I also want to thank our sponsors, Kale Group, Koç, Polat Holding, Atlantik, Doğan, Aktaş, İş Yatırım, and İş Portföy, for their support to make this event happen. Without them, it would have been really extremely difficult to do it. I wish to offer our thanks to our keynote speaker, Prime Minister Papandreou, our two ministers, Ana Palacio and Vuk Yeremiç, and our panelists who have kindly accepted to be with us here today. It would be remiss of me, of course, not to thank the staff of GRF for their tireless efforts to make this event happen. We are also fortunate to have our event coincide with the Taviloğlu collection that you will have the chance to visit. Finally, as someone who has been president of GRF for the last 5 years, I would like to say how proud and honored I have been to take part of this journey, and we hope that this will provide more outcomes that will be beneficial to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Ambassador Yenel. For her opening remarks, I would like to now invite Ms. Zeynep Bodur Okyay, Chairperson of the Global Relations Forum, to the stage. Ms. Okyay.
Dear Prime Minister George Papandreou, Minister Madame Palacio, Ms. Yeremiç, distinguished guests, I extend my warmest greetings on behalf of GRF. It fills me with great joy to see so many esteemed faces, participants, delegates united here today. Today holds particular significance as we gather to celebrate a remarkable milestone in our collective journey, the 15th anniversary of the Global Relations Forum, GRF, a moment that underscores one of the many privileges of my role that I cherish profoundly, the opportunity to share and honor our joint dreams, goals, and achievements. Dear participants, to chart our path forward, we must first understand the current state of our world and what this means for Turkey. Today, we find ourselves in an era of extraordinary change that affects global and local dynamics in every aspect of life. The rules of the global economy are being rewritten. Notably, the revival of industrial policy has now re-emerged as a focal point in the agendas of both the US and the EU. These instruments are set to shape contemporary globalization, and Turkey, with its robust industrial capabilities, must seize this moment to redefine its role on the global stage. Emerging industrial policies must be analyzed with a view to develop a new cooperative agenda, presenting Turkey as the solution partner for the geopolitically induced economic security faced by our transatlantic partners. The recently unveiled Draghi report, which underscores the EU's productivity challenges, provides the right roadmap for this recommended engagement. We must also capitalize on our unique strengths and competitive advantages in sectors where we have the potential to lead, not just participate. This means investing in technology, innovation, sustainability, and human capital. This aligns with the evolving global economy, which increasingly emphasizes stakeholder capitalism and circular economy to create a system that benefits people and the planet. The air we breathe is changing. Climate crisis is one of the most pressing issues of our time. Environmental considerations are deeply woven into the global economy's framework, marking bold steps. Today's energy landscape is also vastly different. As we accelerate from a fossil-based energy system toward carbon neutrality, the urgency for change resonates across every industry and every organization. Turkey cannot afford to miss this wave of change. We need a roadmap that advances our green transformation rooted in a competitive industrial policy perspective. The geopolitical landscape is undergoing profound changes. Reflecting on the fall of the Berlin Wall, Francis Fukuyama famously declared the end of history, predicting that liberal economies would triumph as the dominant global system. Yet, today's geopolitical reality paints a starkly different picture, which could perhaps be described as the end of history. Russia's annexation of Crimea, the wars in Syria, Ukraine, Gaza, and Lebanon are not only regional conflicts, but crises in the global governance. The nature of globalization is also evolving as the influence of the Western-dominated global order diminishes. In this world that is increasingly divided along multiple lines of tension, Turkey must acknowledge the imperative of heightened collaboration with like-minded democratic nations. The commitment to remaining anchored in the Western economic and security framework is a stance we, as GRF, wholeheartedly embrace. Societies are shifting as well. This year has taken on symbolic significance for global democracy, with more than half of the world's population participating in elections, as Afşin mentioned. Yet, the backdrop for such widespread engagement is a deepening distrust in democratic governance across the globe, a sentiment fueled by increasing polarization and misinformation. In this environment, governments face a call to action as the demands for equality and social justice have grown louder and more insistent. The upcoming elections in the US, just 3 weeks away, are pivotal as they are poised to deliver far-reaching implications for democracies worldwide. Artificial intelligence is the game changer. Throughout history, certain technologies have been epoch-making. In the 21st century, where the pace of change is dizzying and the next big thing is often unpredictable, there is now a clear consensus that AI will have the transformative impact, reshaping business models and labor markets. More importantly, the manner in which nations harness and manage the development of AI will be pivotal in generating prosperity. This challenge represents a global race in which Turkey cannot afford to fall behind. Valued partners, distinguished guests, this idea that ensures Turkey is not only aligned with the global landscape but is also able to compete at the highest level is our driving force. This vision has since 2009 been shaped under the leadership of Mr. Koç and four distinguished founders. From the beginning, GRF has brought together visionary minds dedicated to tracking global trends, understanding their impact, and translating these into meaningful insights for Turkey. Now, 15 years later, GRF continues to pursue this vision with even greater strength, supported by 370 individual and 25 corporate members. Our global reach is amplified by more than 300 alumni of our GRF community programs, working in leading institutions from Silicon Valley to London, New York to Singapore and Beijing. I here would like to thank to those who really contributed until now to GRF mission. Over the years, we have conducted significant research, organized high-level meetings, and produced influential reports that have shaped policy and debate. We have hosted world leaders, facilitated track to diplomacy, and supported the next generation through our youth programs. As we celebrate, we have deemed 2024 our year of bold strides. Much to our content, our visibility and impact have indeed grown over the past year. Evident in the increasing attention to our reports and the success of our key gatherings. A standout was the comprehensive Turkey event in London, which we organized in collaboration with Chatham House. We look forward to building on this momentum with plans to host a series of similar events across major European cities and the US. Dear guests, as we look ahead to the next 15 years, we know we stand on the cusp of new breakthroughs. These will inevitably present challenges, but we are well prepared to meet them, thanks to the rich diversity, vast experience, and extensive global networks of our members. These qualities, together with our commitment to independence and a data-driven approach, this set us apart. With these foundational strengths, we take pride in representing a nation that, despite facing its challenges, remains committed to becoming a key hub for production, distribution, consumption, and intellectual discourse in the region. As the chairperson of this esteemed institution, I extend our deepest gratitude to our partners and donors for their unwavering support over the past 15 years. I invite you to stay engaged in our journey, to continue supporting our mission, and to propel our vision forward. In this spirit, as GRF, we thank you for joining us today and for being a part of our journey forward. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you.